The following program is brought to you by the Internet Broadcasting Organization.
What, are you kidding? I bench press 10 times as much as this. My karate keeps me in top physical form. I was looking for Disney World. Must have missed my exit.
Karen, I love you, and I want to spend the rest of my life with you. Will you marry me? I'm just practicing for the part. But my head told me I had to kill you because you're gonna mate with some man.
Let it spread throughout the land, wiping out everything and everyone in its path!
Okay, obviously you can tell the kid was hopped up on speed or PCP or something.
Because I like to tell stories. One day in the future.
Dr. Ocula? Ooh, scary stuff. Dracula. Dr. Ocula.
I will yank that book from your dead, cold fingers. You did it with all those creatures. You're a Jezebel, just like mommy's.
Hey, it's Joel Wynkoop Show. We're back again. It's Sunday night. It's a little after 9. Sorry, got caught up in my my old cops routine. If you lost or watched the last episode of the Joel Wynkoop Show, I got to the studio late because I get all hooked into cops. Remember, I was telling you how they beat the guy. If I was a cop, I wouldn't be able to do it because I'd be like, "Let me help you get that door." Bam! Oh, so sorry. So I'm a little late, but I did want to make an announcement coming up on June 7th at the Tampa Picture Show. Is going to be Zed. That's the Zombie Eradication, and I can't remember what the D stands for, but my friend Mike Maron's going to be doing that. It's called Zed. It's a zombie short. It's 20 minutes long. It was actually made for the Zombie Film Challenge, but it didn't get done in time. So what they did was add a little more time into the Zed movie itself, but it's about zombies, and I play a character named Dr. John Croft, and that's going to be playing at the Tampa Picture Show coming up on June 7th. Also on June 22nd at the Tampa Picture Show, The Brain from Planet Eros is going to be playing there, and there's also going to be some other shorts. The star of the movie will be there. Also, some other shorts are going to be playing, like from my TV episode, Joel D. Wynkoop's The Other Side. We're going to play episode 2, The Abandoned Land, is going to be playing there. Also, Lynn Hansen's Chomp is going to be playing there. So it's going to be pretty cool. We're going to have lots of shorts, and of course, The Brain from Planet Eros. All right, now we're going to get going to the show. My guest tonight is... He hasn't got here yet, so I can say this about him. And he's kind of quirky about this stuff. He doesn't watch any TV, any radio. He doesn't even know what Facebook is. So I don't have to worry about him hearing this. He doesn't do interviews, except for my producer, Chris, set this all up. Honestly, I didn't agree to it. This is not the kind of guest I want to have on the show. I want to have entertaining guest actors and stuff. But this guy is some kind of... some NASA engineer, Dr. Verhouten, somebody or other. And I don't think he's going to see this, so I really don't care. But it was a NASA engineer. It says he's got a bunch of PhDs. He's got a SMC, a bunch of stuff I don't even know. But I'm contracted to do this, so I have to do this. What? I'm getting to that. Okay, he's already telling me I'm not supposed to be saying this stuff. All right, I'm sorry. So anyway, we're going to be here with Dr. Verhouten. Whoever that is, hooting himself. Anyway, we'll be right back with my first, I say my first guest, but it's my only guest. We'll be right back on the Joel Wynkoop Show with Dr. Verhouten Fries or Kaiser or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, let's see how this is going to happen, all right? We'll be right back right after this.
I mean, she is hot, but not that impressive.
Now I'm disappointed.
Ha! Sometimes the right man for the job is a woman. It's time to break out the big guns! Yeah!
Where am I? Who are you?
Prisoner, your powers have been drained. Now move for sentencing. Oh no.
I heard you've been looking for me. Looks like I found you first.
Davis, watch out!
We got it all on surveillance. I got the tape, and I got the file right here.
Hold it, Dom Singh! One more move, and I'm sending you back! Damn!
Let me tell you something about the Punisher. The Punisher, Francis Castle, we call him Frank Castle, his family was killed, so he went on a big vigilante killing thing, and it was just great to see him just destroy the people that killed his family. And then he was living underground because, you know, he became so bad. And they were like, you cannot kill people like that because that is illegal. You're not supposed to do stuff like that. And that is just wrong. The man should go out and have his revenge, but it's not revenge, it's punishment.
Well, hello, and thank you for tuning in. I hope you're tuning in to the Joel Wynkoop Show. It's our second show here, and my guest tonight, it's very nice to have you, Dr. Verschotten.
Verhoeven.
Dr. Verhoeven Kaiser?
Correct.
And my producer tells me that you were actually a NASA engineer, and you have many PhDs and a PhSC. I'm not sure what this stuff is. I'm sorry.
There's quite a few.
Yes. Tell us about Dr. Verhoeven.
Well, actually, I started off. I wasn't with NASA, but growing up, it turned out I was sensitive.
You were sensitive about NASA?
Psychic phenomena.
Oh, psychic phenomena. Okay.
As a child, I had an experience with what's called hag phenomena.
What is it called?
It's a shadow person.
Shadow person. Mm-hmm. Oh, like shadow person. Like I did a movie called Dark Dimensions, and there's shadow people in that in Dark Dimensions. They like move. It's like shadows. They come alive.
And from that point, I became fascinated with an afterlife and spirits. And my family went ahead and took me to metaphysical churches, and they fine-tuned it. In my teen years, I started to get away from that. I became very interested in NASA because a lot of people don't know this. This is a very rarely told story. Mm-hmm. My father was actually on the first flight to the moon.
Oh, your father was on one of the Apollo flights?
It was done before the one that was televised. It actually occurred when H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds was airing on radio because they knew they would create a panic and could get a ship up there without anybody.
Okay, now I remember that. I mean, I don't personally because I wasn't alive then. I remember my dad telling me about the H.G. Wells thing was a put on, but the wasn't it the Apollo that was the first televised?
No, absolutely not. And my father had to change his name because of foreign powers.
Oh, well, what was your father's name? Was his? Because I don't remember a Verhoeven.
Even to this day, it's like I'm not able to say. That's for my family's protection.
I mean, so that he didn't do any like news, or nobody said, "Hey, here's Mr. Verhoeven, the first man in space." No, it was a very
secret test mission before the one that was so popularly televised in the '60s.
Oh, well, fascinating. You see, you never know what you're gonna learn here. Boy, I got to get some space up there. I got to get more posters or something. Look at that. So second card here says the places that you studied under. Wow. A cryptozoologist, all these PhDs and all these things. Something in the range of I guess that's galaxy, space exploration. Not you yourself, but is this something you trained in or studied in or went to school in?
Well, with the cryptids...
It says you have a degree in several things here.
Well, we'll start with the cryptids, which, of course,
Okay.
would be like Bigfoot.
Yes, okay.
While I've been in Florida this week, I have gone ahead and tried to make contact with Skunk Ape. But no such luck on the hunt this time.
Uh-huh. Now, so you have some background in NASA, but you're also a cryptozoologist and you're trying to hunt Bigfoot.
I always thirst for knowledge. I never know enough.
That's interesting. You know, a lot of people don't believe in Bigfoot. They think that's a bunch of hogwash, and there is no Bigfoot.
I've seen them.
You've seen Bigfoot?
I've seen Bigfoot.
Wow. Tell us about that experience. That sounds exciting.
It was on a trip up in the mountains, and I was camping by myself.
Which mountains was that?
It was in Colorado.
Oh, in Colorado. Okay. Rocky Mountain High, like John Denver.
Beautiful
Rocky
up
Mountain
there. Absolutely
High,
beautiful just before the fall
Colorado.
rolled around.
Yeah, sorry.
And I was out camping by myself.
Sometimes I just start singing, especially, Colorado, John
That's
Denver.
it.
I'm sorry. You like
You
that?
should shave that.
Yeah, I did. The wife, I got to shoot tomorrow. That's why I'm in casual dress. Yeah.
okay.
But anyway, so Colorado, Bigfoot. Wow, you're eating those things like candy.
Yes, they were blessed by the Pope. They keep the demons out.
Oh, that's odd. Anyway, so Bigfoot.
I was out camping by myself, and apparently the food I got drew the attention of the Bigfoot. It started out with just noise in the bushes, a few rocks thrown at me.
Bigfoot was throwing rocks at you?
Yes. They are known to do that on occasion when people invade their space.
Oh, I didn't know this.
It's their way of telling you, but he ended up coming into the camp in the middle of the night, and we came face to face.
Oh, really? How was that now?
And at first, I was horrified.
Uh-huh.
But then through body language, we actually communicated.
Wait a minute. You gotta tell me something. What? You met Bigfoot in the woods because you're Bigfoot scout, and the Bigfoot threw rocks at you, and then you had some kind of body language?
He came closer to investigate later in the night. And when I poked my head out of the tent, he was there, and I moved slowly towards him, he moved slowly towards me, and we were able to communicate. They don't talk. It's a series of grunts and growls.
Grunts and growls. Now, are you going to tell me that you understood these grunts and growls? Like if the Bigfoot was going, "Arr, arr, arr," you would understand that?
To the point, what we did was we shared food.
Uh-huh.
And it probably
like
stayed with me.
Something?
Actually, hamburgers. And he probably stayed about an hour.
Uh-huh.
And then went off.
Now, wait a minute. Are you telling me like a Bigfoot came out of the woods and sat down with you?
Yes.
And communicated, and you guys had like hamburgers?
I fed him.
You fed the Bigfoot?
Well, I look at it with like animals. They take food, and with the cryptids, it's like it's partially animal.
Okay. We got to move. This is really interesting, but we got to move on here. That's very interesting, but you have a lot of stuff to cover, and I want to make sure that we get to all of it. What about your all this space exploration? Something about worlds, living in other worlds. Now I know a lot of the. That's not lit. Did you know that?
Oh, I know. If I light it, I might get cancer.
Oh yeah. Good. Okay. Good. I know now? I know a lot from DC Comics. How worlds merge upon other worlds. There's Earth 1, Earth 2, Prime Earth, where this Superman meets this Superman, and the worlds converge. Now you really have a philosophy. It says like a actual degree about world phasing. Tell us about that.
Well, there's so many galaxies. We're not the only things alive.
Well, I've always said
without
that.
saying.
I think people would be stupid to think that we were the only, things in the.
My great uncle Gene Roddenberry, had a
Wait a minute. Come on, Dr. Verhoeven. Houghton, I'm sorry. Now you're telling me that Gene Roddenberry is your dad?
No, he's my great uncle.
Gene Roddenberry's your great Gene Roddenberry, who created Star Trek.
Yes.
He's your great uncle.
Yes.
And you talk to Bigfoots.
Yes.
And I got like 6 more pages of all kinds of stuff you do. I almost said bullshit. I'm sorry.
I've lived a very exciting life.
You have? Okay. Well, tell me about your uncle Roddenberry. How does this, yeah.
He is actually the one who developed space flight, believe it or not. And
well, he did with Star Trek, the TV show. He created the Enterprise.
And it was a lot closer to reality than people realize. But when he
Well,
was
I heard that he went to NASA and would ask, hey, if you had money, could you do
when
this?
He was in talks with the government, they decided what he was thinking was far too advanced at the time and should just become a TV show.
Really?
But he's the one that helped discover and build the core engines for the Apollo missions.
Wow.
And they really do run off dilithium crystals.
Well, no. And I know a little bit about, and there's no such thing as dilithium crystals. That was just made for Star Trek.
I beg to differ with you. I just told you he had his thumb on the pulse.
Yeah. Okay, now you have a book about this, right? You have all this in your book?
I do. I have a wonderful book right here that I've...
Let's, This says Gracie, a love story. This is George Burns.
I left the dust jacket on it.
And
here you go.
Okay, and this tells all about your life.
It's a really good read.
This is Gracie, a love story. This has got nothing to do with what you're telling me about.
I said I have a book. I didn't say I had written a book. I didn't want to leave it. I didn't want to come empty-handed.
Yeah, you didn't want to come. Well, you better get to some of this other stuff. I mean, this metaphysical stuff, because so far I don't think I'm believing you, you know? And I got to be quite honest with you. I did not have time to research, and I couldn't find any research on you.
I'm not telling that story right now.
Excuse me?
Go ahead.
What was that all about?
Oh, it's nothing.
Okay, yeah. Well, let's move along.
No, not now.
Do you see something there?
Mm-hmm.
What's there? Because I'm missing it.
It's one of my shadow people.
Well, there can't be only two people in the studio at once.
You hear that? You're going to have to go. No, just go wait out there in the control room.
No, Dr. Verhoeven. Are you putting me on? Is this a gag? Because my producers probably set me up.
I'm definitely serious.
Okay. Now, it does say here that you were, and we have a picture of this. I think, Gary, if you can bring up this picture, it's you in drag. Can you explain this? For my producers, yeah, what is this all about?
Whenever I go to Europe and I'm checking out what the Russian mafia and the KGB and Soviets are doing, I need a disguise.
Wait a minute. The Russians and the KGB? Now, come on, this is...
Yes, I work internationally as a spy.
Now, how does that work? Because isn't spies supposed to be secret? Like James Bond wouldn't come on my show and start telling people things.
James Bond is fiction.
Yeah, well, so if he was real and he came on the show, do you think he'd be telling me, like, you know, secrets about what you just said?
It's okay. I change my look. It doesn't always look the same.
So tell me about an adventure you had in drag to what? To trick the Russian mafia?
I'm just trying to make sure that they're not ready to attack us. You need to watch it. The foreign powers are watching you in your films.
Are they? Well, I don't think anybody's watching any of my films that are in any...
Speaking of which, I don't watch anything, but I did go ahead and get some of your movies.
Oh, really?
And watch them.
Good.
They're disgusting.
Well, that's what they're supposed... I mean, that's kind of rude, but that's fine. That everybody has an opinion, and some of them are like that because that's what a lot of viewers like. They want to see some stuff that, like, for instance, Herschel Gordon Lewis's The Auto Show, which is right behind you, is that kind of a gory movie, but Lost Faith is a martial arts movie, and The Other Side's a television show, and depending what you've seen, I've done a lot of movies.
I found Creep particularly disturbing.
Oh yeah, well, it's supposed to be. That's in a good way. But hey, we're not here to talk about me. Let's talk about you. Now, what are some of these other things? We covered the medical, physical. It says here that you actually. This says that you know that aliens are on this planet?
They are, and right now, their biggest agenda is getting marijuana legalized.
Okay, aliens are trying to get marijuana legalized.
It all has to do with a terraforming experiment.
Okay, explain terraforming. I know we got Earth, and I know what farming is, but tell me...
Terraforming is something you would do on other planets, creating an atmosphere and being able to grow there. They've set up a small town. They are here. You wouldn't know them if you saw them.
Uh-huh. So now, have you communicated with these people? How do you know this?
They've taken me.
Oh, you've been taken?
Yes, they've taken me in their ships. And
like what, you were out for a drive one night? And
no, actually,
okay.
I was in bed when it happened.
You're in bed
and
sleeping?
There was a bright light outside the windows, and then I could see people with very large heads in shadow.
Are you sure you're not describing the Close Encounters of the Third Kind? Because there's a little boy taken in that.
I've never seen that.
Oh, it's a movie.
I don't watch movies or television.
Okay, so go ahead. So you saw this white light.
And the next thing I knew, I wasn't in my room. I was enveloped in a goo.
Enveloped in a
In a goo. And it was like I couldn't move, and they were running experiments. And we were able to talk to each other telepathically.
So they were like you could...
You could think.
And they would know what you're
utter
thinking.
a word, and they would answer back. And they were making way to come to our planet.
Oh, really?
And they have set up a small town. I cannot say where.
In somewhere in the...
But right now they're pushing for the legalization of the marijuana, and they're going to try that as a terraforming experiment.
That's amazing that you're telling me all this stuff, that aliens are actually here pushing for marijuana to be legalized. Are they doing anything else? Are they mad at us or anything? Do they like our TV shows?
They did say...
Do they like my movies? Because I would like to entertain some aliens.
I have no idea if they've seen your movies, but they did say the zombie apocalypse will not happen.
Well, I kind of had that
figured out. Which I've heard everybody talking about, and I guess it's very popular on TV and movies now.
In the 70s, we had zombie movies. Nobody talked about it, but now it's like, why is there a big thing about zombie apocalypse stuff?
What I find disturbing about it is people with the zombie apocalypse seem so exciting, wanting it to happen.
Yeah.
Never thinking of the millions of the people that were going to die.
Yeah, yeah. What do they think they're going to...
It's horrid.
Yeah, are they going to be like, they're just going to have
the...
zombie... Oh!
It's time to clean them.
Dr. Verhoeven, please, put your teeth back.
Sorry about that.
Oh,
it's time to clean them.
Yes, that was... Please don't do that again. Anyway, so another one of your cards. I will let you read this. Tell me about what if you're going to explain that to me. And this is supposed to be something you have one of your degrees in, and I just cannot believe it. Well, don't skip over those two. I want to know about that.
You said if.
Well, I would like to know about that because that really presents a question for me. I mean, to believe in something is like that?
Okay. I am God's favorite.
That's what I thought. Now, people really are going to be, first of all, people are going to be offended by that they're thinking that God has a favorite when God loves everybody. Now, how did you come to this conclusion?
I was his original human. I was Adam.
Yeah, see, that's what I was trying to get to. This... Dr. Verhoeven, sorry. This, people aren't going to believe this. I mean, now, come on. Now, think about what you've told me here. You've told me you're a cryptozoologist. You speak to Bigfoot. You got an imaginary friend over there that obviously nobody's there. Yeah, well, not that I can see. I mean, and the viewers can trust me. If we move the cameras, they see there's nothing over there. I mean, you communicate with aliens. You're Gene Roddenberry's nephew, and you said that Gene Roddenberry was really conducting a spacecraft.
It was horrible. I got drummed out of NASA when I invented a solar engine for the rockets. And they were in bed with the petroleum companies.
Is that real? I mean, you've said a lot of stuff here that is just completely... I mean, I don't want to call you out on this.
I guess it's all going to be in my book when I write it.
Yeah, you already showed me a book and it had nothing to do with you. It was a George Burns book, and you're trying to pass it off as something you did. And I don't know if I believe
They asked me to bring a book.
Yeah, they meant a book on you. I mean, this is some kind of bullshit we're going through. My producer sets that up, Dr. Verhoeven. Verhoeven Kaiser. Are you German?
That's okay. You can stay there.
You don't even sound German.
I was raised in this country. And Eden.
And now you're saying that you were Adam and you're God's favorite.
Yes. And the serpent, that's a whole nother story.
Oh, please, tell me about the serpent. I'm just
dying to know. The animals
actually
actually could speak at one time.
Oh, really? And what did they say?
And the serpent was jealous of Eve. He knew he would find a way to oust us, and
the serpent.
She was very gullible.
The snake that was in the actual garden. And
she was gullible and broke the one rule. She wasn't supposed to eat from the tree, but he talked her into it.
So, and that was you. You were Adam.
Yes, and we were cast out of the garden. It was
Now,
horrible.
am I supposed to think you are thousands and thousands and thousands of years old, or is this something living inside you?
I am able... The aliens taught me to time travel. Columbus almost didn't discover America.
Wait, come on. Oh, wait. Okay.
Columbus was on the
All
way
right.
to...
Card number 9 says something about... Okay, yeah. Tell me about this. It says here... Okay, just tell me this whole Columbus thing. What is this that you've time traveled back to the age of Columbus? What is that, 1492?
Okay.
Columbus sailed the ocean blue?
What Columbus did, he was heading the wrong direction. He was actually headed towards the West Indies.
Uh-huh.
Had I not gone back, America would not have been discovered, and you might not be sitting here doing the show right now.
Wait a minute. Dr. Verhoeven.
Houghton.
Huh?
Verhoeven.
Dr. Verhoeven. Now you're claiming that you can time travel. I mean, this is interesting stuff for, like, if I want to write a script or something, I think it would be amazing. But, so time travel.
Yes. Anybody can do it.
Anybody? Now,
I can show you after the show. I'll be happy to. We probably don't have time here right now.
Right. Now, how are you going to show me this?
We'll mind meld.
We're going to mind meld, like Spock on Star Trek.
Not exactly like that.
Maybe some
More
of these things that maybe you watch more TV than you thought, and it's just crept into your little feeble little mind.
We didn't have a TV when I was growing up, and in the past there were no TVs.
Okay. Look, I'm just going to call this as this is. I think you're a big friggin' quack. You know what? I don't believe any of this stuff you're telling me. I think all those cards is a bunch of bullshit. And you come on and you're trying to tell my viewers that you're some metaphysical guy, NASA engineer, you do some kind of time warp and time phase and you pass through and you're talking to an invisible guy. I mean, for God's sakes, man, you pull your teeth out on a television show where people can see you. I mean, come on. I mean, this is a bunch of bull crap. You know, my producer set this up and I didn't want nothing to do with this. This is nothing but a bunch of crap.
You shouldn't get so excited. It's bad for your blood pressure.
Yeah, I know, but when I have somebody...
Here, have a cigarette.
I don't want a damn cigarette. And you don't even light the thing. Who puts a cigarette in their mouth and walks around and doesn't even light it?
If I light it, I might get cancer.
Then why didn't you don't? There's no reason to even have it.
You imagine the smoke. You feel it go down in the lungs. Come back out.
So there's no reason to even have it.
It's great for stress relief.
What? Holding an unlit cigarette? You need to check in somewhere. There is something seriously wrong with you.
Absolutely
you really think
not.
Are you telling me for sure that you communicate with Bigfoot?
Yes.
He comes out of the woods and you're like, oh, Bigfoot, come here, let's have a cheeseburger. And you sat down and ate with Bigfoot.
I did.
Did you play checkers?
Absolutely not.
Well, that would be crazy now, wouldn't it?
That would be insane. Bigfoot doesn't play checkers.
And you're telling me about passing through different worlds? You know what? I didn't want you here. I think you're a quack, and I don't want you here. All right?
Your producer came to me.
I know that. My producer said that you were...
I didn't ask to be on your show.
Yeah, well...
I don't watch TV.
Yeah, you know what? Well, I don't want you on my show. I think this is whole ridiculous. I can't even believe this is going live.
I'm telling you.
And then they'll archive it. People are going to see this. They're going to say, why did he have that nutcase on there?
Heed my warning.
Don't talk over me.
The foreign powers are watching you.
You know what? I don't give a shit about... I'm sorry. I said shit. I don't give a shit about the foreign powers. All I care about is I think you're, don't look at me. I think you're...
Who do you think you are?
I think you're a dumbass and I don't even know why I have you here. And when I get hold of
I was asked to be here.
Well, I don't want you here. I think you're stupid. You're ignorant. And I don't... Take your things and get out. I don't want you here. Fine. Go ahead.
Fine.
Hey,
no.
Go ahead. I didn't want you here to begin with. I wanted a star. I wanted a real actor. I wanted somebody that was going to be exciting. Not you. Not a moron like you. Metaphysical, Bigfoot, all this crap. I don't believe one word of it. Gene Roddenberry's nephew. Yeah, right. I never read that in any of the books. Huh? Get out. Get out. You know what, audience? We'll be back right after this. We're going to get this hootin' dude out of here. Please, come and...
Thank you so much.
Joel Wynkoop. Be sure to check out my show, The Joel Wynkoop Show, Sunday nights at 9 p.m. on Verizon Channel 30 and Bright House Channel 950. We'll see you there. And I remember taking over directing because I was directing you and
Yep,
Gus
directing me and Gus.
and
Natasha.
the girl Natasha
Rabi.
Yeah. Yep.
Natasha
And I
Rabi.
kind of took that over and just got through John. I got John through till 6. And I think somewhere in there I shot my scenes with the spotlight up there as Lewis.
As Lewis.
And then I said I'm going home, and you guys were still there for a couple more hours.
Yeah, I
we had
think
the
I left
comic
there.
show that day.
I think I left there at about 7 a.m.
Yeah. Okay.
I had gotten there the day before about 5. And
Yeah.
left at 7 a.m., so it was about 15 hours I was there.
I remember at one point we were there for 4 hours. We hadn't shot anything. And it was Gus Perez, Kathy, my wife Kathy, and myself. And I said, I think we went to Subway or something, and we weren't even missed. We came back. It's like, anybody missed us? No. What do we do after? But Dark Dimensions was a blast. And you were the FBI agent.
FBI
I came
agent.
in and I rattled off everything about the book of chaos and all that.
Yep. And I become a zombie.
Yeah.
Natasha rips my heart out, and I become a zombie. Work with her, and then at the end you.
At the end,
you
I
saved
put
my
'em back.
life. Yeah, you put it back and you
Yeah, I
saved my
run
life.
up and do this to the Wynkoop audience out there. Miss Dawn Wells here, and we're here, and you're having a good time here at the Blast from the Past.
Do you think they remember me?
They absolutely do remember you.
Have you ever heard of a show called Gilligan's Island for 7 stranded castaways? Now we've got Lost.
See, now you're singing it. Yeah, but they ripped you off.
No, they
Lost is about Gilligan's
Well,
Island.
no, that was dramatic.
Well, because they didn't want to copy the entire format, they made it dramatic.
I thought it was kind of interesting, actually. Okay, what are we talking about?
But yes, yes, you did Marianne on Gilligan's Island, and everybody always thought that it was Ginger that was the movie star. Everybody said, "Oh, Ginger." No, it was always like, "Oh, Marianne."
The Marianne or Ginger
Love
question is
Marianne.
huge. And
Yes,
Marianne
you're sure?
always wins because I think you could trust her.
Mm-hmm.
As a young man, she'd go to prom with you. Mm-hmm. You'd have to buy Ginger a martini.
Yep.
And she was a
Yep.
little more high maintenance.
Yes, you had to have money to go out with Ginger.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Yep, and mine too. So, okay, we had all these years on Gilligan's Island. I watched you as a kid. Every day we come home from school, it was Batman, Gilligan's Island, Green Hornet. So,
I Dream of Jeannie.
Yep.
Mr. Leafer, the gold is in the... The gold is in the... The gold... What?
It looks like we're really there.
And
He's
if you
really
watch
good. You know what? I don't care. I don't care. Gary, I don't care what it looks like. I'm not doing that again. You guys say that I have to have 2 guests on, and Chris set that up, and that's a... Are we on? That's just a bunch of bull crap. This isn't even trying to be funny saying, are we on? I'm just, I'm trying to, it's my second show. I'm trying to have real guests here. And I knew that, something was weird about this whole thing. I couldn't find any information on this Verhoeven guy and all this bull crap he's telling me about. So I just, they don't buy into it at all. Whew. So I'm sorry. I mean, with Gary out there, and it almost came to, fisticuffs, and Gary's between us, and Gary's a little guy. He's going to get hurt if he's in between us. Of course, the Verhoeven guy, and he's here with his chauffeur guy, and his chauffeur's getting out. And he's like, I know Kung Fu! Whoa, 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 whoa! And he's jumping around in the parking lot, and I'm like, hey, dude, settle down. This isn't worth it. Besides, I know I can kick your ass. And I'm sorry, I don't want to be swearing on the show and stuff. So, anyways, and I threw my cards all over, but I think it was, I was telling you, like, on June 7th. What is that, Gary? We got 5 minutes? Is that what we got left? We got 5 minutes here. June 7th is going to be Zed is going to be playing. You know, this really makes me mad. I mean, I didn't. You know, I kind of feel like I've been duped here. I mean, Chris is no longer here, and I don't know what. If maybe this was a joke to have him say this guy come in here, but it makes me pretty mad because I feel like I wasted your time. Well, no, maybe I didn't, because now if this guy's seen around town or something, he tries to get on another talk show, they'll see this and they'll say, hey, this guy's a whack job. I mean, there's no way you're going to tell me that this guy was for real, you know? I mean, come on. Cryptozoologist, metaphysics. He's talking to something that's obviously not there. So anyway, I'm sorry, but I think it was June 7th. My card's all over the floor. Was the Zed premiere. It's going to be at the Tampa Picture Show. And come out and see that. It's going to be pretty cool. I'm in that as a Dr. John Croft. It was made for the Zombie Film Challenge by Dan Brienza. And that was, it was made for that, but they didn't get under the guidelines, under the time it was supposed to be done. So Mike Marin, the guy that put it together, he just said, hey, I'm going to do this a little later, and it won't be in the Zombie Film Challenge, what it was made for, but we'll have it premiere like a month later. A Zombie Film Challenge was last month or the month before that. In fact, my good friend Jules Sierra, he took Best Supporting Actor. Well, we tied. We both did in a zombie short called Mombi. And but anyway, so that's going to be there. The Zed premiere at the Tampa Picture Show is going to be June 7th, and it's going to be pretty cool. I think it'll be a lot of fun, and it'll be fun to see everybody, there on June 7th. And it's a pretty cool little story about my character has created this chemical that will stop the zombies. I don't want to tell any more than that because Mike might be like, shh, don't be telling all this stuff about the story. But it's going to be at the Tampa Picture Show June 7th, so come out and check it out. You have to look on your calendars. I can't remember if that's a Sunday or a Saturday, but or I can't remember what time it is. I don't know if it's 7 or 8 o'clock at night. I'm not sure. And then June 22nd at the Tampa Picture Show, the brain from Planet Eros is going to play there, and I believe the star is, she'll kill me if I get this wrong, Joyce Meadows, I believe. See, it's in my notes, which are scattered all over the floor, because I totally lost it in here. So anyway, Joyce Meadows will be there, along with some other shorts are going to be playing there. Lynn Hansen's Chomp is going to play there, and so it's going to be lots of fun. And also, Joel D. Wynkoop's The Other Side, Episode 2, The Abandoned Land will be playing there. So, hey, we'll see you next Sunday night at 9 p.m. on The Joel Wynkoop Show. I promise you I'll have a real guest. We'll see you then. Thanks for watching. Bye.
What, are you kidding? I bench press 10 times as much as this. My karate keeps me in top physical form.
I was looking for Disney World. Must have missed my exit.
Karen, I love you, and I want to spend the rest of my life with you. Will you marry me?
I'm just practicing for the part.
But my head told me I had to kill you because you're gonna mate with some man.
Then spread throughout the land, wiping out everything and everyone in its path.
Okay, obviously you can tell the kid was hopped up on speed or PCP or something.
Because I like to tell stories. One day in the future.
Dr. Ocula? Ooh, scary stuff. Dracula. Dr. Ocula.
I will yank that book from your dead, cold fingers. You did it with all those creatures. You're a Jezebel, just like Mommy said.
This program was brought to you by the Internet Broadcasting Organization, setting the standard for new media broadcasting.